It's the all-new for 2010 Cadillac SRX. All new is good, since the old one was pretty fugly. This one's a missile aimed right at the RX 350. So let's see if Lexus needs to lose any sleep and check the tech. Now we're in a high-trim SRX, so we got just about every toy in the book, including the crowd pleaser, the Peekaboo LCD right here in the center stack. Resolution's great. It's a touchscreen. Now here's one issue I've got with it. It's very touchscreen. A lot of things you just simply have to touch to get to them, and that's a little difficult because if the steering wheel distance is proper here, what's that? That's called too far. And I've got long arms, and I've got to do this, lean up to get to the buttons. Not great ergonomics. Once you're in the system, it's great. You've got live traffic, as you see, really good graphics and rendering, a nice overlay of other information while you're in the nav display, like here's your temperature, your time, your current audio status. Destination entry is really easy. Notice how fast it's moving. It's a hard drive-based system, 40 gig drive. 10 gigabytes are available for you to put media on. Audio system, a lot of stuff going on here in classic Cadillac fashion. Your radio is AM, FM, XM, no HD radio on this guy, standard or optional. SCAD's a preset, 6 times 6 different sheets. I always find that kind of odd. How can you have 36 favorites? Here's our fun menu. We've got the CD drive, which is a single slot right here. I've got a CD in there, and if I want, I can record that to the hard drive by just pressing the menu. Decide if you want that song or every song. I'll go with every one to see how fast it is. And it begins to rip to the drive. I've got my iPod hooked up to a USB dongle. Standard Apple iPod cable works, thank you. And you can see the readout's really good. Auxiliary goes to a standard aux jack here. We also have AV aux jacks on this car, and that could be an audio as well as video portable device. And when the car's parked, the front screen can also be a little mini movie theater. Of course, the rear screens work all the time. Regardless of what you're selecting, it comes out of a Bose 5.1 surround system. You've got some basic Bose technology like CenterPoint. Surround sound, depending on your source, can be enabled, or you just go to standard stereo. 10 speakers around the cabin. There's your center channel right up there. It's a full surround rig, and it sounds quite good. You've also got A2DP Bluetooth stereo streaming off of your phone if it supports that. And again, this entire high-end head unit is just part of this car, this SRX Turbo. The Turbo is the high-end trim on these vehicles, even though it's a smaller engine, which usually isn't associated with top tier, but it's a turbo, so the output's higher. You've also got one other interesting technology here inside of the speedometer, and that is that OLED display, which is incredibly tight resolution, great thing to look at, and you've got a couple levels of menus there. Vehicle information, and you've also got trip and fuel information. It's a great looking information display. It's a nice interface. Now our backseat entertainment system is a little interesting. Typically with these guys you have 2 screens and at least 1, if not 2, optical drives back here. But this system is less expensive and does it by only having displays. The optical drive's the one in the front. So to watch this DVD, the disc has to be inserted up in the front of the car. That's fine. I've got my AV aux inputs, a set right here for stereo, audio, and a video jack. Also separate video game jacks right here. If you just want to watch your Game Boy on a bigger screen, you just punch that right up. And of course, wireless headphones are part of the kit as well. Down here's a controller. You can access almost anything up in the front. There's the hard drive, the radio bands, of course the DVD. You have headphone jacks right here if you want to go with your own headphones that are wired. You've also got a wireless remote control here if you don't want to use this particular controller. There's a little more flexibility on this guy. So a lot of good stuff going on here on this high-trim SRX. Oh, by the way, notice while I'm back here, again, this is a 2-row crossover, not a 3-row like the old outgoing SRX. More of a compact vehicle than its predecessor. Now we've got a turbo, that means the smaller engine, 2.8-liter V6. The non-turbo SRXs have a 3-liter V6, 300 horsepower, 295 foot-pounds of torque, pretty good numbers. MPG is also okay, 1723. And all that power goes out through a one-choice only 6-speed automatic transmission with some sporting pretensions, but no paddles, interestingly. The turbo SRXs are all-wheel drive with torque vectoring. We're talking about a traction-oriented system here, not off-roading. Also, the turbos all come with adaptive sport suspension. Now underway, this car has plenty of power, but not the sharpest reflexes under throttle. And on the track, it does shine as a handling car in terms of the sport suspension, which you have on the turbo. It's part of the package. And of course, Cadillac's done great things with their cabin quality. It's a nice car to ride in. This division really shamed/led GM into better interiors a few years ago. Okay, SRX Turbo all-wheel drive gets you for about 50 grand, but just about all the tech toys are in there. Now, rear seat entertainment is the big additional a la carte thing, $1,300. That's kind of a steal as those systems go. There's also a premium package that'll get you keyless access, Tri-Zone ATC, which is your temperature control, ventilated seats in the front along with heat, heated seats in the rear, and a couple other niceties for $2,500. Take it or leave it. This guy comes pretty much CNET style.